Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Buenos dias, mi gente. Yo, welcome to Daily Discipline number 257. Rob Hoback, that's Jack. Happy that you're here. Honored and humbled if you came back. It's Sunday fun day. It's a day off for a lot of us, but from work. But if we're truly living, we got to work every day. So let's just get after it. Yeah. First things first, still the realist. I'm also family. So last night, sitting around with the kids, got a text from my not so little brother, the big sexy, who wanted to be, invited to participate in Daily Discipline. So number one, you're invited, bro. You're always invited. Everybody's always invited. But number two, I'm going to redo the text message that goes out every morning. So if you're not on it and you want to be on it, let me know. And I'm assuming that if I take somebody off it and they don't say anything, it's their loss. So anyway, all right, thank yous. So my thank yous today are going to go to the Cubs. Cubs won yesterday again. But the best part of it is Yasiel Puig, who, if you're a Cubs fan, actually a lot of people just don't like. He's really good, just over the top. He got plunked by the Cubs yesterday, and then he freaked out and did his thing. Pedro Strop, pitcher for the Cubs, just like afterwards, and they stuck a mic in his phone. What I think is I think he's an idiot. I think he's stupid. And so I agree. But thank you for calling that out. All right, so here's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a weekend review for the last week of the first half of the month. So let's start with, did we talk about how we're leading at halftime? We're in the locker room with a good lead, right? We are winning. Let's wrap it up. We're not going to slow down. We're going to be like the New England Patriots. We're just going to run the score. Get it. Get what you want. All right. So here, let's review what we learned. We were introduced to the Berry Boys from Houston last week. And that amazing story of how they lost all, except for each other, of their immediate family. Mom, dad, their sister was still there. Sorry. But it's tragic. Confined to wheelchairs, and they've just made the best of it, right? It was an amazing story. We talked about how DoorDash is here at Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Whew. Yeah. And in the day, I think that was last Monday when we put it up there. Here's the lesson there, right? Is sometimes we're just going to be short and sweet. We're going to talk about what we're thankful for and what we learned or anything like that. But it's not going to be a masterpiece every day. It's called daily discipline, right? So I deal with that. Giannis and the great advice from his dad. That was also the same advice that I got from Mr. Coe, which is it's okay to want more, but don't be too much greedy, right? And if that was the first time you met Giannis, you're welcome. That guy's amazing. All right. That was 20 years. That's what it felt like, how fast it went by, right? We were talking about the summer of 1999 and all of the things that had changed since then. Then the next day, we talked about Robert Shaw, the conductor, and how all the great things he accomplished, but also how flawed he was. And then also the University of Michigan, and about how, they're constantly in it, but never seem to win the big one. And how people will look at that and say, that's not success, right? That's not success. That's not perfection. Those are two different things. Success and perfection, two different things. And while we were talking about this, about, being amazing but not being the absolute greatest, a couple other examples of that is Seth Curry. Not Steph Curry, Seth Curry. We've talked about him before. Imagine if you make it to the NBA, you make it to where you're a regular starter and a contributor on a playoff team, you make it to the All-Star game, and you're not even the best basketball player in your family. Can you imagine that at the dinner table? And then I thought of another one, right? I was watching the, 30 for 30 on Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller is all over TV right now, the Hall of Fame, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. But if you hear his backstory, he talks about how he would get in the car after a game. Hell, he wasn't even the best. He wasn't even the best basketball player in his family, and the best one was his sister. Right. This is what I'm saying. So for all of us that think that the difficulties and the things that we're going through now are just unfair, they're not. Everybody goes through it. All right. The Rock, we talked about that, right? Remember when The Rock we're just going to revisit. So there's a story that The Rock tells about how he went to the University of Miami. He's going to be a professional football player playing on the defensive line. And his first year, he was maybe redshirted or whatever. And then they brought this guy in. He's like, oh my God, that guy's better than me. And he let this guy take him out of his game. Well, the guy that took him out of his game, Warren Sapp, walked into the Hall of Fame as one of the greatest defensive linemen of all time. But at the time, The Rock didn't know that. He just knew that it allowed him to shake his confidence. What's the point? There will always be somebody that's better, faster, stronger, smarter, better at something. There will always be somebody, right? So just deal with it, right? It's all good. We got this. Man, what a great week. I think we learned a lot. And welcome to the Big Sexy. It's great to have you here. With that, we are done for the day. Hands up, peace out, we're better together. It is hot, hot, hot here in Oklahoma. We're going to get outside and try to get some work done. Kids are up. Sunday fun day. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you. Bye.